Hey friends, welcome back. I hope that you are doing well. Today I wanted to do a get ready with me, sharing my favorite products right now. These are my go-to favorites that I use most days. I mean, I have a lot of makeup in my makeup collection, so I do try to rotate things, and honestly, most of the things in my collection are my favorites. I try to only keep things in my collection that I really enjoy using, but these are just like the top tier best products that I have been using recently. So let's just go ahead and jump into this. And my favorite foundation, this has just become such a staple. And I mean, I still love Revlon Color Stay, and that is still one of my all-time favorite foundations, but this one is right up there with that one. This is the Maybelline Superstay Lumi Matte, and the shade that I'm currently wearing is 118. Usually in the winter or like in the spring, because this foundation came out like this year, like in the early springtime. I was wearing 110 back then when I didn't have a tan. And not that I have like a big tan this summer because I haven't really been outside a ton, but 118 is more of my summer shade, so. And I just realized that I have some sleep lines on my face. I just love the finish on this foundation. I love the wear. It's not like a super heavy coverage foundation, but it does build nicely. Like I would say that this has a good light medium coverage. I've got a cat hair on me. I wouldn't be surprised if I have a lot of cat hairs on my face. Salem, my cat, was in here before I started filming and I was petting him. So probably got a bunch of cat fur stirred up in the air. It's got a light to medium coverage. It builds really nicely. Like I said, you can get like a good medium, almost full coverage out of this foundation. So I think that's why I've just been enjoying it, is the wear time on it, the fact that it's, you know, a more flexible foundation that you can wear it more lightly or, you know, more closer to full coverage. And I just really enjoy the finish on it. And then with concealers, like the two that I've been reaching for the most is the Natasha Denona High Glam Concealer and the Maybelline Superstay Activewear. I really like pairing this concealer with the Maybelline Superstay Lumi Matte Foundation. I just find that they pair really well together, and I like the shade of this in the summer. This is in shade 15. In the winter, I cannot use this. For one, it's like slightly a little too drying for me in the winter months, but also this shade is way too dark for me in the winter. So, and the consistency on this is very thin, and it's a little bit more of a lighter coverage concealer. So I do kind of apply a bit more of it than I normally would with a lot of my other concealers, because most of my other concealers, like the Natasha Denona High Glam, are like full coverage and they're very thick concealers, so you don't need much of them. This one is this one is thin, and like I said, it's not as high of a coverage. So I do like to build it up a little bit. There's been times like where I thought I didn't like that concealer, but I definitely have been falling back in love with it. I think it is one of those concealers that I just like better in the summer. And I will say that, like, if I haven't gotten a lot of sleep and have really dark under eye circles, this is not the concealer that I reach for, but it's more lightweight, and just since it is such a thin consistency, I think it's a nice concealer for the summer months. Like, it doesn't feel super heavy or anything like that. And I'm getting ready before church this morning. Today is Sunday. And do you guys like my necklace? I actually got this like at a thrift, like vintage place, and I just thought it looked really cool. I love a good statement necklace. I know most of the times I wear like my little pendant, like my little coin necklace, and I love that one for like every day, but I love a good statement necklace if I'm trying to be like a little bit more dressed up. So I just thought this one was so pretty. It kind of reminds me of like the ocean or something. I don't know, I really like it, and it paired well with like this dress, this t-shirt dress. For my powder, you guys probably know what my favorite powder is right now because I use it quite often in my videos, but it's the MCO Beauty Miracle Flawless Press Powder. And you can tell how much I've loved this. Like, look how much more of the pan I have hit since the last time I showed you how much pan I had hit on this. So that is one thing about me. Usually with powders, and especially a pressed powder, I will use them up because I will just come back again and again using the same powder, especially if it's a powder that I love. So this one is really, really good. I've told you guys in several different videos that this is a good dupe to the Charlotte Tilbury one, that this is duping. So, and in some ways, like I kind of prefer this one a little bit more than the Charlotte Tilbury because this has just slightly a little bit more coverage, I feel like, than the Charlotte Tilbury. Like the Charlotte Tilbury one is a good powder if you want something very undetectable that, you know, isn't going to add extra coverage to your, you know, foundation. But I like how this adds just slightly, just a little bit more coverage, and it mattifies everything and just makes everything look flawless. So I'm just getting some more of that on this triangle powder poof. And I'm going to set my under eyes. And I'll have the shades of everything that I'm using, like in everything that I'm using listed in the description box. I always list everything there. So if you're ever curious, just check that out. And then for brows, this has just become an everyday brow product. I love the Maybelline Build-A-Brow. The shade that I use in this is Ash Brown. So I know like sometimes I use the shade in black. Like if I tint my eyebrows, they're pretty dark. So I need to use like the darker one in that if I tint my brows, but I have not tinted my brows in a while. So the ash brown is perfect for just like my natural brow color. And I love how this Build-A-Brow is an all-in-one product. Like you have the gel on the one side, the clear gel. So I just use that first and brush my brow hairs up because with this Build-A-Brow, it's a pin. So it kind of draws on brow hairs like, you know, you got your brows microbladed or something like that. So I find that it actually looks really natural. I just love it. And if you have really thin brows, this would be a great product to build a brow. But I just love how quick and easy this is to use. Like I have not had any issues with like the brush drying out or anything like that. And I've had this since I think like early spring. Like I feel like I bought this around the same time that I got that foundation, the Lumi Matte. But I usually just, you know, fill this in any areas that I want to like deepen up a little bit or just fill in any little sparse areas. And there is like a tad bit of a learning curve to figure out the best way to hold this to get like those brow strokes. But once you get your technique down, it's really quick to use, and this will last until I take my makeup off. Like it does not smudge or anything like that throughout the day. It's a really amazing product. And if you want to give your brows like a more fluffed up look, you can kind of go on the top and create like little flicked up brow hairs, which is really cool. And then of course, always Milani eyeshadow primer. That is just like my go-to primer for my eyeshadow. It's been a long time fave. So I'm just gonna blend that all over my eyelids. And this stuff will seriously keep your eyeshadows lasting all day, keep them from creasing. I'm sure most of you guys have used this at some point, but it is such a staple in my makeup collection. If you haven't been watching like my more recent videos, I posted a video probably a few weeks ago at this point. I went to the House of Color, which they do seasonal color analysis. And so I had that done to figure out what color season I fall into. If you would like to watch that video, I get really in depth and explain the process, share like what color season I am. I'll have it linked above in the cards. But while I was there, like House of Color also sells their own makeup. And I bought this eyeshadow palette. This is in Autumn Harvest. And I've been loving this palette so much, and I know I'm going to get so much use out of this in the fall months. But, you know, obviously I would use this year round because it's in my color season. First, I'm going to go in with this warm, coppery, corally kind of color. I've been loving this as like my crease color. I just love how warm it is. And this shade does have like a slight bit of a sheen in it, but it doesn't look shimmery at all in the crease. Like it just looks like a matte, like a soft matte shade. And also this brush I'm using, the Morphe M332, this is my favorite. This has just become my all-around favorite eyeshadow brush. Like, I can almost use this brush to do like my full eyeshadow look and not use any other brushes. It's great in the outer V, it's great for crease blending, so I just think this is an amazing brush. Kind of got that shadow down slightly a little bit too far, so I'm just going to use my makeup sponge to clean the edge of that up. Okay, and I'm taking some more of that shade on the Sigma Pencil E30 and blend that here on the lower lash line. I posted a video recently sharing my top favorite most used makeup brushes in my collection and just like explaining like what I like to use them for. And most of them are affordable brushes. So if you haven't seen that video yet, I will link it above. I think it's really helpful, especially if you're kind of confused or maybe you're on the hunt to find like a good brush for bronzer or blush or good eyeshadow brushes that are affordable for blending. So I will link that video above if you haven't seen it yet. Okay, and I'm taking that same brush and I'm going to go in with the dark brown in this palette. And I'm going to blend the shade here in the outer V. It's like, to be honest, I really didn't think I was going to use this eyeshadow palette that much, but it has become like a daily favorite. The eyeshadows just blend out so nice. I don't have any fallout with this palette, so it is a really good quality eyeshadow palette. Then I just got some more of that dark brown on the Sigma Pencil E30, and I'm also going to blend this here on the lower lash line, connecting that with the outer V color. I've just been really into like these smoky eyeshadow looks. Okay, and then I'm just wiping off that Morphe brush. And I'm going to go back with that original color that I was using in the crease. And I'm just going to lightly go around the edge of that dark brown just to make sure things are blended. And I'm going to take the Wet n Wild Always Naked palette. I've been getting back into my tutorial series on this palette. So if you haven't seen the most recent video that I've done on my second look with this palette, I'll have that linked above. So I'm taking like this matte cream and I'm going to brush that here as my brow bone highlight. This is also going to tone down some of that crease shade that got up a little high. And then on the lid, I've been loving using this single shadow from Maybelline. This is in Nude Glow, I believe. Yeah, Nude Glow. It's a really pretty like rose gold shade. I need to redo my nails. I feel like the nail polish is wearing off of these press-ons. So I'm just using the little sponge that comes with this eyeshadow. And like I said, I'm going to use this as my lid shade. And in the video where I was sharing my favorite, you know, most used, top, best makeup brushes, I had this same eyeshadow look. I was wearing the same eyeshadow. The only thing is, in that video, I'm not for sure if I made it as smoky as this makeup look, but it was all the same colors in the same placement. I just might not have done the lower lash line as smoky. And then for the inner corner highlights, I've been using the Wet n Wild Color Icon in Walking on Eggshells and that highlight shade in here. So I know it's like just a bunch of random eyeshadows in different palettes, but They all paired together so good. Then my favorite blush right now has been this LA Color Just Blushing Blush in Just Bare. And it's a really pretty, just kind of brownish color. Like, if I even compare this to like Naked Brown, it's more brown than that. So here's what I'm on Naked Brown. So yeah, this is even more brown than Naked Brown. So it's a very natural looking color. And yeah, so it's just been like my favorite go-to. And I'm just using the Morphe M241. Is that right? Yes, I remembered. M241. It's only taken me like 3 months to remember the names on these brushes. But this is also another favorite, this makeup brush. I love this for applying blush. And it took me a minute to figure out the best way to use this brush because I was applying the blush like, because it's an angled brush like this. And I was taking like the angled part and doing it this way, applying the blush. But I found that that was really dragging my face down and I needed to turn it up this way and blend the blush like this. And that lifts the face up more. And I really feel like you can go ham on this blush and it's not gonna look too overdone. It's very natural. And then the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in Deep Bronzer. This has just been my go-to everyday bronzer. Love this one, especially in the summer. It's kind of like that Maybelline concealer. It gets a little too dark for me in the winter, so I gotta use it while I can in the summer months. But I just love the tone on this. It's warm, but like not too overly warm. It blends out nice. It lasts all day. I just love it. So I just bronze up my forehead first, and then I kind of lightly go in the areas like where I would contour and lightly blend a little bit of bronzer there. I feel like I got a cat hair. And then I just take whatever's left and kind of just put it there on my nose and just kind of put it around. Okay, then for my highlight, like I've really been rotating my highlights, but the two that I've been reaching for the most is the Wet n Wild Bloom Time, which is a really pretty intense pinky, golden, champagne, like peachy kind of color. Love this. And then the Becca Opal. This is so, so pretty. So I'm going to use this one today. I've really been enjoying this one. And I'm just using the Morphe M164. Oh, it's so pretty. Are you guys ready for fall to get here? And so we can get out of the super incredibly hot weather that we've had this year, or at least where I live, it's been incredibly hot. I feel like it's just been hot everywhere in the States this summer. But I am ready for some good just fall weather. I love all the fall activities as well. Fall is just like my favorite. I mean, I do like summer, going to the pool and just like the sun, like the sunshine lasting longer than in the winter, but fall just holds like a special place in my heart. Just because in school I was in marching band and I just remember all of our little band competitions and like the football games and just like that crisp fall time air. I don't know. It's just, it's kind of nostalgic for me, fall. So before I curl up my lashes to do my mascara, I'm going to go ahead and mist my face. And I'm going to be using the Urban Decay All Nighter. And I don't know if you guys have heard, but Urban Decay, like their All Nighter spray was always done in collaboration with the Scandinavia, like since I think like 2010. But Urban Decay is breaking away from Scandinavia and they're just going to be doing this on their own. So technically, I don't think the setting spray is going to be the same anymore because Scandinavia has like a patent on this setting spray. So if you want to get this exact same spray, they say get the Scandinavia, I think it's like the bridal setting spray. So I'll have it linked down below. But once I get through this, I'll probably be buying that one instead of this. Or maybe I could do a video where I can compare both and see if there's, you know, a big difference. But, you know, Scandinavia isn't as big of a brand as Urban Decay. So it's like I also kind of want to support them. It's like supporting local, even though they're not local. Do you know what I'm saying? They're like a smaller brand. But I'm going to go ahead and mist my face with this. And yeah, I probably should have waited to do my jewelry because that gets kind of like a hairspray film on jewelry, but it's all right. I can always clean this with like my, my fine jewelry, cleaner stuff. But yeah, I wanted to wear this jewelry today. I told you guys in another video that I like to wear jewelry, even though I'm going to spray makeup setting spray, just because it's interesting for you guys to look at and it's pretty. So, but normally if I was getting ready, I would wait till the end to put my jewelry on. To be honest, like with this dress being so dark, I probably should have waited to put it on after I did my makeup. It's always like such a gamble with me because I usually get something on me. Whether that be like liquid foundation or concealer or something. Which I did get a little bit of powder on me, but I just brushed it off and it came right off. So I'm just curling up my lashes with my Tarte eyelash curler. And then, of course, like my all-time favorite mascara is the Maybelline Lash Sensational. I've been using the shade in black brown, I think. Blackish brown or brown black, something like that. It's not the black one, but it's the one that's like almost black. So I'm just going to apply several coats of this on the upper and lower, and then I'll share my favorite lipstick right now. Or I should say lipsticks. Some of these lip products I did show in my last video where I was doing my tutorial with the Wet n Wild Always Naked palette. But these 4 lip products have been just like my go-tos. So this first one, I'm just going to go ahead and swatch all these. This one I did not use in my last video, but this is one of the Dior Lip Maximizer like glosses. This is in the color Mahogany. But when I want like a barely there lip, something more natural, this is what I've been wearing. Or sometimes I'll just throw this in my purse, and after like my lipstick kind of fades a little bit, or if I want to add a little bit of like shine and moisture to my lips, this is what I've been throwing on. But I think this is such a pretty color. Like I want to go to Ulta today. I got a gift card. My mom gave me a gift card to Ulta for my birthday. So I've been sitting on that for a little bit because my birthday was in July. But I want to try to go there today after church and just look at a few things. I might get like some perfume because I used up like my everyday perfume. But I'm kind of thinking that I might get the Dior Lip Glow in Mahogany because I've had that before and I really like that. So yeah, that's what this one looks like. So I've really been enjoying that. And all of these are kind of similar in color. Like they're brownish, like kind of reddish colors. The next one is the Clinique Black Honey, which that Mahogany lip color from Dior is similar to this. This is just like a step up and maybe like a little bit more red than the lip gloss that I just had on. I think this pairs really nicely with the eye look. It's just like a good everyday nude color, like brownish nude. I might end up wearing this today. Then we have this lip color. This is the CoverGirl Clean Fresh in, I think, yeah, Bliss You Berry. I almost said Very Berry. So next to Clinique Black Honey, you can see that this one's even more reddish undertone than Clinique Black Honey, but they are very similar. I love how moisturizing this is, and it's just easy to throw on. You know, it's like that gloss pairs really nicely with this too. So another great go-to that I've been loving. Then I have this bullet lipstick from Maybelline. This is the color Sensational and Crazy for Coffee. Which this is in that same tone family, but in a lipstick. So this one has the most like coverage. So I really like this one too. I wore this one in the last video I picked this one out because I had like 3 different choices in that video. But I think for today, we're gonna do Clinique Black Honey. I'm kind of feeling that lipstick. But I have so many favorite lip products right now, and I want to film a video soon. Let me go ahead and throw this on. I want to film a video soon on best lip products for a dark autumn, because with the seasonal color analysis, that's what ended up being my sub-season, and I have a lot of great lip products for dark autumns. And I just think that would be helpful if any of you guys out there are also a dark autumn and maybe don't know like what lip products are the best for you. And even some of these colors would be good for just any autumn season. So yeah, I'm thinking of filming that video soon, but I have like over 50 lipsticks that I could recommend from my collection. And I just don't know. It's like, should I do a video like with all 50 lipsticks? Like that would be pretty intense, like trying each of them on. Like I just don't really know what the best way is to go about that video, but yeah. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video today. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.